John and Liquidator coming back with a major story. So it looks like WNBA owners is trying their damnedest to stop Project B and stop all of the superstars from going overseas. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to New York. Let's get it. Hope everybody's having a great day today because we got more news coming out of the WNBA pipeline in regards to the CBA agreement. Now, we heard just, I believe, last night that they came up with a proposal the night before last, I should say.
The WNBA owners had just dropped an absolutely radical new plan. And believe me, it's sending massive shockwaves throughout the entire league. This isn't just some minor policy change. It's a move so aggressive that it could potentially push superstars, including the phenomenal Caitlin Clark, directly into the waiting arms of a powerful new rival, Project B. As you can imagine, fans are already in a complete uproar, viewing these desperate maneuvers as nothing less than a direct betrayal of player loyalty. They see it for what it is, an unintentional but powerful push towards that rival league. And here's the thing you have to understand. This isn't just about money anymore. This is a battle for control. The owner's desperate gambit to block Project B might just backfire in the most spectacular way possible, leaving behind a devastating trail of furious fans and deeply disillusioned athletes. Right now, the entire future of women's basketball is hanging in the balance, and what's unfolding behind closed doors is proving to be far more scandalous than anyone could have possibly imagined.
To extend the CBA until the 1st. Now, what we did here was the first proposal, and that is WNBA players actually making $1 million. Well, I'm here to tell you, news just broke about an hour ago, and they want the season to be shorter. They don't want this offseason to be all these months. Because you want to know why? Project B is on the rise. Now, I told y'all this the other day. I say, look, if the WNBA do not strike a deal and somehow have a season lockout before Project B kicked off, guess what that means? Disaster, disaster, disaster for their future. Because there's
The absolute core of this unprecedented controversy really centers on a new collective bargaining agreement proposal. It arrived carrying an absolute bombshell. We're talking about a drastic, almost punitive shortening of the WNBA offseason. Let me be clear, this isn't just some minor scheduling tweak they're proposing. This is a highly calculated strategic maneuver, specifically designed to keep players locked into the league's ecosystem year-round. By doing this, it becomes virtually impossible for them to even entertain those lucrative overseas opportunities, or more specifically to engage with the rising threat that is Project B. The league's motive here is completely transparent. They're trying to build a wall around their talent. Yet, the implications this has for player freedom and their financial autonomy are nothing short of catastrophic, and it has unsurprisingly sparked immediate and fierce backlash from both the players and their incredibly fervent supporters.
I told y'all this the other day. I say, look, if the WNBA do not strike a deal and somehow have a season lockout before Project B kicked off, guess what that means? Disaster, disaster, disaster for their future. Because there's countless of WNBA superstars that is free agents this year. And I keep telling y'all, if Project B be like, y'all know what? We don't want y'all playing in this year. We'll throw an extra $2 million on that. Guess what these ladies going to do? Well, $2 million. I ain't never made $2 million. Hell, sign me away. Sorry, W, we can't play. And that's exactly what's about to happen potentially. Now,
But wait, because the demands absolutely do not stop there. In a move that has left players utterly stunned and fans seething with outrage, the WNBA has also proposed cutting team housing entirely. Now, historically, the league's teams have been required to provide in-season housing for their athletes. This isn't just a perk. It's a fundamental benefit that has now been placed directly on the chopping block. To be clear, this is not a small concession we're talking about. This represents a massive financial burden being suddenly and unceremoniously shifted directly onto the shoulders of the players themselves. And what's wild is that this is happening even as the league claims it's offering improved compensation. This glaring hypocrisy is just fueling the fire, making the WNBA's offer look less like a generous proposal for progress and much more like a harsh take it or leave it ultimatum. One that's clearly designed to exert the maximum possible pressure on the players.
Exactly what's about to happen potentially. Now, Andy Constable took to Twitter a minute ago to repost some stuff from ESPN, and I'm here to tell you it is looking spooky for the future of the WNBA. Now, will these owners get what they want? Because now it's getting to the point they got to put the money where their mouth is now, because they're making all these demands about the season being shorter and all this because they do not want these ladies to go to Project B. I'm here to tell you they do not want this. Breaking news: the WNBA proposed cutting team housing in addition to
the proposed changes also throw in an even earlier start date for training camp, potentially kicking off as early as the middle of March. Now, on the surface, that might seem like a simple, innocuous schedule adjustment, but it carries incredibly serious implications, especially for the incoming rookie class. Think about it. A mid-March start would directly interfere with the NCAA tournament, which means that top collegiate stars, people like Caitlin Clark, will be forced to choose between finishing their celebrated college careers and joining the WNBA season already in progress. The very thought of Clark, a true generational talent, either missing weeks at her highly anticipated rookie season or being rushed into a professional career prematurely, has ignited absolute fury among the fan base.
In addition to an earlier start date, according to multiple sources, the start date for training camp could easily come as mid-March, sources indicated, which will come with serious implications. Whoa, baby. So that means if the season started in March, right? So y'all trying to have the season start in April? Basically, y'all want to start a month earlier? If I'm not mistaken. So let's stay here. The WNBA has proposed a 7-figure base max salary as part of a new collective bargaining agreement, but it's coming at a cost.
Now, let's talk about the money, because the league's latest proposal does offer a significant increase in base salaries, dangling a 7-figure max salary and an average that would exceed $500,000. Superstars could even qualify for what they're calling supermax deals, potentially reaching up to a staggering $1. $2 million. On the surface, this sounds like a huge win for the players, right? A major step towards the equitable compensation they've been fighting for. However, and this is a huge however, when you view these numbers alongside the demand for an earlier start, a much shorter offseason, and a complete elimination of housing benefits, that generous salary increase starts to look a lot more like a desperate bait and switch. It feels like a tactic, a means to justify the tightening leash that they're trying to put on player freedom and their career choices.
Base max salary as part of a new collective bargaining agreement, but it's coming at a cost, bro. Now, the league has removed team housing from proposals submitted to the Women's National Basketball Players Association, including that the most recent league sources told Front Office Sports. So I'm guessing they was paying for these ladies' houses. The teams has been required to provide players with in-season housing. So damn. Now, I don't know if other leagues do this. They could, but I doubt it. The league has also proposed lengthening up the season.
Project B, also known as the Arrival League, which is backed by substantial Saudi investments, stands as the undeniable and primary catalyst behind all of these frantic moves from the WNBA. The owners clearly never anticipated such a financially potent competitor emerging from the shadows, one that is more than willing to invest millions upon millions into women's basketball at a time when they believe their monopoly was absolutely secure. The very existence of Project B is proving to be a true nail in the coffin for the WNBA's years of past complacency, challenging the league to finally step up and meet the players' long-standing financial demand. The owners' current action, however, don't scream confidence. They reveal a deeply rooted, almost palpable fear of this new and powerful competition.
Start date that is expected to interfere with the NCAA tournament and potential other leagues such as Project B. Project B with the blue underline. Now, the start date for the training camp could be as early as mid-March. Sources indicated the current 44-game regular season runs from mid-May to early September. The WNBA Finals ends on October the 10th. Now, this is what a source said. It doesn't make logic sense, one source said. Y'all want to know why it don't make sense? It don't make sense because they're trying to stop Project B.
And the source of that fear is crystal clear. One source has revealed that Project B is offering players truly astronomical sums of money, potentially upward of $2 to $3 million for a single season. Let that sink in. These are figures that are far beyond what even the top WNBA players are currently earning. This stark, glaring financial contrast is the WNBA's absolute biggest nightmare brought to light. Because while the league is now finally proposing million-dollar salaries, Project B's offers are already a proven reality, creating an almost irresistible allure for players who are justifiably tired of being undervalued for so long. This financial disparity is the single undeniable reason why so many players are now openly and very seriously considering leaving the WNBA behind.
By any means necessary. Bro, Project B is the nail in the coffin for the W. This is a league they never wanted to exist. They never thought somebody was willing to put millions of dollars behind these ladies. And I'm here to tell you, I am for it. I am for it because I've been saying this and I'll say it again. These ladies are going to play totally different basketball when them M's are involved. Hell, you would too. You will be standing on different type of business if the M's was involved. Now, the league latest proposed reported Monday was highly highlighted by salary increases according to sources. Now,
Caitlin Clark represents the ultimate prize in this high-stakes battle for the soul of women's basketball. And her potential decision to join Project B would be nothing short of catastrophic for the WNBA. It would effectively end their hopes of retaining top talent and would severely, perhaps irreparably, impact their marketability. The owners are keenly, painfully aware of Clark's immense drawing power and the massive cultural impact she brings with her. Their drastic proposals, including the audacious move of interfering with the NCAA's schedule, are a desperate, heavy-handed attempt to ensure she remains in their league at all costs. But ironically, these very actions, this immense pressure might be the very thing that pushes her away. Fans are expressing immense outrage over what they see as the owner's deeply cynical strategy. They view the housing cut, the season changes, and the blatant interference with college careers as disrespectful and exploitative. Even with the proposed salary bumps, the sentiment online and in the stands is crystal clear. WNBA owners are not genuinely prioritizing player well-being. Instead, they're engaging in a crude, transparent power play to protect their investments from Project B. This perceived manipulation of players, both current and future stars, is turning a significant portion of the fan base against the league's current leadership. The rule requiring players to be in market by the start of training camp or face suspension is another contentious point exacerbating player dissatisfaction. This prioritization clause introduced in the last CBA has significantly impacted international players who often have lucrative commitments overseas. By moving the training camp earlier, the WNBA is making this clause even more restrictive, potentially forcing a choice between international play and their WNBA career,